Okay, now you've learned all these properties about radicals and how to add, subtract, multiply, divide, reduce, do all this cool stuff. But now we have to solve. Now we have an equal sign. So now I have a square root of x equals 3. Now I've got to find x and what it is. Well, here's how you deal with that. Remember whenever we solve problems, if you had like, say you had a 3x, oh, that's multiply, so you divide. If you had x over 3, you'd go, oh, that's division, so I'll multiply. There was always an opposite you could do so that you could kind of fix it, right? There is an opposite you can do with the squares. You know what that is? With the square root, the opposite of a square root is the square. So you're going to square both sides. This is like canceling them out, and I'm left with x equals 9. Boom. Think about it. What can I plug into x to get a 3? And the answer is 9. Now, some people get these mixed up with absolute values. Oh, well, it's a plus or minus 9, is it? Well, plug in a negative 9. What's the square root of negative 9? The answer is no solution. You can't do square roots of negative numbers. So it's not. It's just plain old everyday 9. So don't get this mixed up with some other things. Now let's look at this one. I'm only allowed to do that when the square root is alone on the side. Is it alone? It is alone, so I'm allowed to do it. But you have a plus 4. Yes, I do. But the plus 4 is inside, okay? If the plus 4 is outside, there's a whole other thing we do, which I'm going to show you later. But if it's inside, our whole job is just to get rid of the radical. Boom, boom. Radical goes away. What's left over? X plus 4. And what does x plus 4 equal? What's 7 squared? 49. Okay? And now I just solved as a one-step problem. I'm going to subtract 4 from both sides. Boom, die. X equals 45. Think about it. If I plug a 45 in for x, what's 45 plus 4? 49. What's the square root of 49? 7. It's that simple. Look, it's all by itself. That's cool. Boom, boom. So once I do that, I'm going to end up with 2x equals, what's 4 squared? 4 squared is 16. And now I'm just going to divide by 2, and I'm going to get x equals 8. So it's just normal solving. The only real trick that's new is that you have to square both sides to get rid of the square root. Now again, that only works when the square root is alone. Well, what if it's not alone? I don't know. Let's do a couple. Okay, here we go. Now if I take a look at this one, I'm just going to square root both sides because I see the square root, right? Wrong. You can't yet because the square root sign is not by itself. I've got a 3. I've got an outie there. I've got to get rid of the outie. Think of the square root as a parenthesis. That's a 3 outside of a parenthesis. So that's 3 times the square root. So if the 3's times in it, how do you get rid of it? You have to divide it. So this one, I can't go straight to the squaring. I actually have to divide each side by 3. And then once I do that, I'm going to get the square root of x plus 2 equals 4. Now, square root is alone. Now that it's alone, now I do the squaring. Don't square root unless the sign is alone. Now it's alone. I get an x plus 2 equals 16. Subtract 2 from both sides. Boom, die. X equals 14. Boom. I plug in 14. What's 14 plus 2? 6. What's the square? Sorry, 16. What's the square root of 16? 4. What's 4 times 3? 12. It works. Okay? Now this one's a little uglier. The only thing inside the square root is the 3x. I've got 4 out there, and I've got a plus 7. Well, let me ask you this. If I had this, 4x plus 7 equals 79, what would you do first? You would subtract the 7, right, to get the x alone because you want to isolate the x and do all that. Good. I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to subtract the 7. That's my first step. And once I do that, I'm going to get 4 square root of 3x equals 72. Now, the 4 is still in the way. I still can't do the square yet. So now I have to divide each side by 4. Now I'm going to get root 3x equals, oh boy, and what's 72 divided by 4? That would be a 1. And I put a 3 there. That would be 18. Ooh, I'm going a little crazy there. That would be 18. Now I need to square both sides. I think I made that number too big for an example. Oh well. What is 18 squared?
It's 324.
324. So once I square these, I'm going to get 324, and I'm going to get a 3x. Now I'm going to divide each side by 3. X equals 108. Boom. 3 goes into 3 once, 3 goes into 2 0 times, with 2 left over, 3 goes into 24 8 times. Okay? But did you see it? Could you see what I did? Did you see the strategy? On both these problems, I have to get the square root alone by doing whatever moving of the furniture I need to do, adding things, subtracting things, dividing things. Then once it's alone, that's when I do the squaring and I can solve. Okay? So this should be enough right here for you to go on the worksheets. That's it. That's how you solve radical expressions. I hope that helped you out. Keep working. I'll see you on the worksheets. Let's become perfect.